see, David shared his video on his progress with the cat animation. Currently, he's
Right.
sitting animation,
Uh-huh.
looking good, and yeah, he's still working on that sitting animation. So we have
Okay.
that, and then see, I think Jared's working on updating the moat file to uh, to upload it separately. Uh, and then for concept art and UI, finish the Dragon Kitty. I'll share my screen.
Yeah, go ahead and share your screen. Um,
Can you see it?
yeah, we can see it.
All right, yeah. So there's the finished Dragon Kitty, and I just wanted to give a hint of maybe what its special animation would be like. And as we talked about, it would breathe fire. Um, so there's that, and then I updated the buttons, the frames. Before they were just the unclicked versions were more like drop shadows, so I wanted to give them more thickness.
Okay.
Update the colors a little bit. So updated those, and I added a book button and a tower upgrade button. So I uploaded the book icon separately because I guess I took a note that I wrote my notes down and it said I need to make a book button. I don't. I'm not sure if we even mentioned that, right?
Um, uh, that sounds familiar.
It's
But I
the
did it just in case.
Okay, that's fine. It
the
sounds
I think
familiar though.
for when you have the letter, and there's a button to like accept and put all the stuff from the letter into the book. I think we talked about having a book icon for that.
Okay.
So I uploaded the PNG of the book separately, and I did a button version for it. So those all the updated new ones are in the Google Drive for you. Let's see. And then I did some icon shapes like we talked about
Yeah, I
frames.
see those. Yeah,
And, I didn't want to add any color to them. I think they should be neutral.
cool.
Color and all the other icons buttons. So those are
Yeah,
updated.
that works. Those work very well. So that's good. Okay, cool, cool. Um, awesome, awesome. Uh, so for sound, I did not. I unfortunately did not get a chance to listen to the audio yet, so I'll try to make sure I try to do that sometime this week. Um, like I said, I've been really busy. Also, just to keep in mind that we need to decide on the final background music in the future. But yeah, I gotta check out that audio. My fault. Alrighty. So so for this coming week, like I said before, Charlotte, I'm sorry you were here. Like, of course, you know Shay and I are moving this week, so the we got a lot going on. So we'll see exactly what we can do, what we can offer for this coming week. But I know we had a goal by the end of the month to actually have something playable that we can actually like more something more playable, so we can actually say, hey, folks, go ahead and try this, and be able to send it out there a little bit to let people try it out. Um, and so I feel like are we on set for that, Shay? You think like on track for that?
Um, well, as again, I don't know how much I'm gonna work on next coming week.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, okay.
I mean, it's not done yet.
Yeah, of course, of course, of course.
It's not. Well, first of all, I don't know if I never said just send it out to people. I was thinking more like start play testing with people at Run Up Dev or something.
Oh yeah, of course, of course.
Where
My
we're
fault.
staying there.
My fault. My fault.
I think there'll still be some little things we should clean up before just sending it out to anyone to play.
Yes, sir.
For one thing, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like, probably should like have at least one person outside the project play it, and we watch them, and then there'll probably be problems, and then we fix those, and then we send it out.
Gotcha.
And also, I guess just we need to figure out a little bit try the idea of getting rid of all words. There's still some places there's words. Like the big thing is when you're first placing your play area, there's some help text there.
Alrighty. So let's, I guess. Oh man, is there a way we could create like a? Yeah, that is the first. That is the only text I can think of right now.
And there's also when you're placing an item, there's also some text at the moment. And when you pick up the book, there's also some text at the moment.
That'll all start to go away as we start to make things glow and put in some of the tutorial items.
There's still like just how to convey.
Placing something.
A tiny bit of trying to convey the controls. Like, so you pick up the book and you're holding the book. I don't know. We may just have like an icon that like indicates tap the screen or something.
So in other words, like an outline of a phone, and you see like a finger like on the phone that show like you're actually tapping the screen or something like that. Maybe.
I was thinking maybe just like a finger tapping or something.
A finger tapping. Okay.
Do you think that's necessary?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that a glowing button, people are just gonna.
No, there's no glow. Like if you pick up a book and you're holding the book, there's no glowing thing. You're just holding a book.
But eventually, it will have.
What?
Eventually, it will have glowing buttons.
No. So there's. I don't think so.
Yes, in the tutorial we walked through it last week.
No, so like right now the way it is so the handle's glowing before you pick up the book. The handle's glowing, and then you tap on it.
And then it brings the book closer and opens.
I guess then does the whole book glow?
Maybe the exterior, the silhouette, but not the buttons themselves.
Let me look.
Or
what are you talking about? At what point? Like, so when you
So you grab the book and then you're just holding the book, and it's attached to the phone, and then you tap again to like move it.
No, it brings it close enough to you to open, and then opens up, right?
I like the idea of being able to place it.
Yeah, so there's
so we sort of talked about, I thought. Okay. Is you can like, so you grab it and you're holding it, and then you can put it where you want and place it.
Because we were worried about it being able to spread around all that
stuff. So if you grab it and then it's just in front of your phone, where your phone is there, you can't like, there's no way to pick it up and rotate it over this way. It'll always be sort of along this same one. I don't know. Because
the idea is that you could change the orientation and position by clicking on it and then letting it go to actually set it in a location that's actually worthwhile for you.
This sounds like something that needs to be tested.
Yeah.
Oh, we've been I think we've been.
It's in there.
It's in there right now. It actually works really well. Okay. I mean, we've been playing with it and testing it and everything.
So it feels nice in terms of using it. I think it feels really nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just conveying how it works.
Oh,
it's not that terribly complicated.
Yeah, I'd prefer. Well, I mean, it sounds to me like adding more, like tap, like an animation to tap. I don't know that that's necessary because you're gonna tap to do it in the first place. So they know that they have to interact with the screen. And that's the only way to interact with the environment, right? Is to use the screen.
I don't know if people will know. I don't know. I'm just a little bit worried about how intuitive it is to like. I mean, I think it sort of is to like tap again to release it. I think it's. Well, for one thing, like generally people eventually just, if they don't know what they're doing or what's going on, they just tap. So
exactly.
And
and then they'll be able to see exactly that the phone that the phone is released. I mean, the book is released from the phone.
Yeah.
And
So my concern is once you use it in one place just to say, hey, you need to tap the screen, you're gonna have to use that everywhere because of consistency, right? So you're gonna be using this instead of the glowing stuff. It's gonna remove you from the experience, in my opinion. I think a glowing button still, and this is just my opinion, and you guys can tell me I'm wrong, but
I think
the glowing button feels like it's in the world. An animation overlay on your screen saying tap feels like it's on your screen.
Yeah. So well, again, I sort of mentioned this when you were talking before. I guess you could have the entire book glow, right? When you technically
yes,
you
could do that. Yes,
at that point,
yeah.
But
yeah, that works.
just have the entire book glow and they tap anywhere on the book.
And then it brings it to it.
So after
once
you bring
you
it
place
to you,
it.
so just the handle glows and you grab the handle, and then once you grab the handle and you're holding it, the entire book is glowing.
Right.
And then you tap again to place it.
Gotcha. That should be fine. I think glowing portrays like an idea, like say you said before, people kind of just tap on their phones anyway.
Yeah.
The idea of just tapping and also the glowing, those combined two should be enough in order to convey that there needs to be interaction with those objects.
I do have my biggest concern with all the tutorial stuff is just, will people click on the cat?
Yeah, well, I think so. I mean, because
we haven't yet conveyed, so you start it up and there's just a glowing cat there. We haven't done anything to convey click on the glowing thing.
Well,
you have to interact with the cat before the next thing happens.
No, but how do you know that you're supposed to tap on the cat?
Let me tell you this.
Glowing.
Well, let's say this.
Glowing means tap on you.
Okay, so one thing is that I've noticed from people doing this and playing this is that they want to interact with the cat. There's first instinct. Okay. They'll instantly try to interact with the cat and actually try to touch it. It's going to happen. I feel solid on this. I'll let y'all know. I feel solid on this because I've seen it pretty much consistently as well. And so I feel like that's an issue that I don't think will come up. I don't think we have to worry about that. They're going to try to interact with the cat, and no matter what, they will try to interact with the cat. So it's going to happen.
I was just worried, especially with the cat. Mm-hmm. I was wondering if the glowing could just look like that's what the cat looks like, if that's the first time you see it.
So you're talking about it's Sparkle Kitty and everything, so it'll be glowing in the first place.
Purple cat with a diamond on its head and it's glowing, and it looks like it could just be part of the cat.
Right, exactly. Can we make it glow? Can we have the other interaction parts glow a different color than the cat itself is? So if it's purple for the Sparkle Kitty, then make it a different color, like white.
Well, no,
or something
I think
that.
What his thing is if it starts off glowing, you're not gonna know that that's not normal. So it needs to start off not glowing.
Not glowing.
My concern is just the whole game starts up and you just have a little play area with a glowing cat. I don't know.
No, I think there needs to be some sort of intro animation, and then the cat stops and sits and starts glowing.
Okay, yeah. Something like that maybe.
What kind of intro animation?
The cat just maybe the cat does something interesting and then starts glowing.
So the cat wants you to interact with it, right? Maybe a little
maybe the cat walks over closer to you and then.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was going to say. The cat gets closer to you and actually looks at you.
The cat's over in the corner and then it walks up closer to you and sits down and then starts glowing.
Yeah.
That would be a very basic place to start.
I think that'd be a very good place.
It's utilizing animations you already have. You don't have to create anything new. And it illustrates that the cat doesn't glow from the start.
Right.
And that the glowing indicates something different.
Yeah. Once you get to the mailbox, you start. I think you are pretty
solid on the
idea that glowing thing means click on me.
Yeah.
That information could appear on a letter you receive at the beginning of the game. like
We're
you would
avoiding
see
text.
Well, I think he's trying to
through
figure out
like
a way to convey it without text and
a
everything.
little comic of the cat not glowing and then glowing, and you wanting to interact with the cat.
Like a hand or something like that. That's petting the cat or something like that.
Yeah,
That's
something.
it. That's an interesting thought.
I
You
think that
could.
that's probably more than like what you
That's too
started.
much.
I think that's too much because
Okay,
it's
interesting.
hand feeding. Uh,
Yeah, you're right. But I feel like,
if you
but
need
if
it and you test what we just talked about, that's simple
mhm,
and elegant and utilizes things that you already have,
right,
then and that doesn't work, then you might need more hand feeding. But I think to start, let's use what we already have and just give a moment for the cat to be a little bit further away, to approach you, maybe make a noise and sit and glow, and see if
yeah.
that gives
Yeah.
them enough to start the game.
And what if it's Sparkle Kitty? Because Sparkle Kitty does glow.
Well,
Sparkle
right
Kitty
now,
doesn't glow.
right now
not
it doesn't.
Sparkles.
not yeah. Well, it
We
will.
talked about that idea, but right now it doesn't.
Yeah, it'll sparkle when it actually gets happy, all that fun stuff or whatnot. So also with interaction and all and everything. So it's kind of
Okay,
the
this is
idea.
something I didn't hear about. You're gonna make the cat glow constantly?
We talked about it a long time ago, having it like have sparkles around it all the time.
Yeah,
So that's gonna conflict with the tutorial possibly, depending on what the glow for the tutorial looks like.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure constant. I think that something like a sparkle particle effect would be something that would be a reward rather than a constant. But
Let's see. Does Sparkle Kitty's mood go all the way down? It's like,
I mean, at the moment I think actually at the moment there's nothing to make the mood go down. But
I mean, for Sparkle Kitty as our mascot, does
like
Sparkle Kitty remain like neutral or?
I thought we talked about it would still go up and down.
But
yeah,
if
you
it
need it
doesn't
to.
get happy or sad, then when would it sparkle?
Its mood would change because that's part of the tutorial.
Okay.
But sorry, my vacuum decided to start up in the middle of this conversation.
Flory.
Flory, yeah. Uh, remind me what the question was. I'm sorry.
No, the idea is that if Sparkle Kitty is the idea is Sparkle Kitty constantly glowing, it's going to conflict with
Yeah.
the tutorial.
I think that if you reach 100%, maybe a sparkle effect like comes off of her, kind of like when you capture a Pokemon. You know,
yeah,
that effect that happens as a reward for catching the Pokemon.
yeah,
That's sort of the like, oh, you reached 100%, your cat's super happy. But I don't
right,
think it's something that would just like emanate from the cat the whole time, right? I think it's reaching a point.
more like a little burst, right?
Yeah, it's like a little
when
burst
you get
of
a little
like,
burst of sparkles.
yeah.
Yeah, but it still does need to look different than the tutorial.
And you are
yeah,
correct. Yes, it does need to look
yeah,
different.
way
Well, I
different.
think it'd be like maybe you could not even be the entire cat for one thing, and then it'll be a different color and all that.
Yeah. So it's something to think about when designing a particle effect for that. But we don't
Do
want
we
the
even
cat
need a
to
particle effect?
for the explosion.
No. Particle effect needed for Sparkle Kitty happiness or mood and everything. But do we need a particle effect for the showing of things glowing or whatnot, or can we possibly have a what is it called? It's not called a bloom. It's called something else that allows you to actually like
Glow.
show. Is it glow?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
I
I
don't know.
forgot.
You guys used it on Mortimer's Mansion, so I figured that you probably already had something in mind.
I think of what you're thinking of might be related to Bloom.
Bloom. Okay.
There's
Maybe
I mean,
like
soft outline.
I've done a glow. You can do like a glow sort of effect.
yeah.
Using Bloom, where it looks like it's sort of glowing.
Yeah. So the idea is that we separate particles from actual glowing, and that should be able to make us determine exactly like things you interact with, and also the cat Sparkle Kitty just being itself. You see what I'm saying?
There's different effects you can do. You can do sort of like a actual glow. I don't know if we want to really do like a glow where with a bloom, but
Well,
but you could do like also there's like outline effects.
mhm,
I think that would work.
that as well. I know that's probably a shader and everything.
Yeah.
That probably do
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
There's like a sort of highlight outline sort of shader you can make.
Yeah.
Um,
I can't make.
the yeah, I mean I've made them before.
You made it before.
It's
Yeah.
you basically like if you want like a red outline, you basically
Mhm.
draw a copy of the cat red,
Yeah.
solid red, and then
And
you
then put
draw
a
the cat regular you draw it like bigger,
Yeah.
and then you draw the regular cat on top of that.
That's okay. That works.
That's typically how those like outline shaders are.
Yeah.
So anyway, we could do that instead of right now. I threw a particle effect in there.
Yeah. But does everybody understand something? The idea is that we separate the idea of particles and the glow, so that we can make sure that those differences are not like the confusion doesn't happen there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just think that if they look different, it's fine. It doesn't matter how you do it.
Well, yeah. But that's the one thing that just help us though. That's all. That's the one thing. Like two different techniques of actually showing a change in lighting based upon particles or shaders, all that fun stuff or whatnot.
Yeah.
That would
I don't care how you do it
helpful.
personally.
Yeah.
I just
Okay.
make sure that it's consistent when you're talking the language of tutorial and
right.
consistent when you're talking the language of reward. So
exactly.
or the anti-reward, right? When you've pissed off your cat too much.
So. Very true. Very true.
When your cat's really angry, it's like a screechy electrical looking particle effect or something. So
give me 1 second.
Right now let's say right now the buttons. So right now the like 3D stuff in the scene, like the cat has a little particle system around it, and the buttons have just like an outline that sort of pulses.
For the tutorial?
Yeah, for the tutorial.
That works.
I didn't think a particle system really made sense for the buttons.
Oh, that's fine. I know you guys have already done it before, so. I remember on Mortimer's Mansion you ran into you had to try a couple of different things, but one of them seemed to work pretty well. So I think part of it was such a dark room, getting it to be bright enough to be seen. This we probably have a different set of circumstances because it's AR and you're counting on the room to. I mean, it has to be bright enough to play scene anyway. So.
Also,
actually, it works.
Light estimation.
I've had it work okay in low light, but not too low.
And the glow seems it probably seems consistent either way because it's on the screen.
Yeah. I don't know. We never really got the lighting working. Supposed to be able to do with the AR core stuff. Supposed to be able to do lighting where
the realistic lighting
with real lighting. Yeah.
Light estimation.
I don't think we ever quite got that
working. I couldn't get it either. It's been a while though. They might have changed it or fixed it possibly, but I couldn't get it working either months ago.
The particles would definitely be unlit.
Yeah. So they're not affected, right?
Yeah.
Quick note: I'm trying to find where we should be placing this information that we just changed in the tutorial.
Tutorial section.
I know I'm in the tutorial section. I'm just trying to find out exactly where all this goes real quickly so we can write it down.
You can make a note next to something that mentions something glowing the first time. Okay, so going up, letter highlights to interact. Is that the first one? No, the mailbox glows. What's the first one that glows?
Encourage player to tap on mailbox that glows.
The cat's the first thing that glows.
Yeah, the cat should be the first thing that glows. We don't mention that. So, yeah, just type in there by making the cat glow.
I do think the outline idea is a good idea, and I think it'll be more evident and would look better in the AR scene than a glow.
Wait, what?
Nice,
Sorry.
bright outline.
Outline? You think an outline would be good?
Yeah,
it might be a combination of the two. You probably have a brighter outline just around the cat, and then a little bit of a gradient outward from there.
Yeah. I think I've looked at gradient outline is tricky. I think I've looked into trying to
Well,
do that.
glow. Glows tend to taper away as they.
Yeah.
So it's essentially a glow in conjunction with a outline shader. But if you want to just do an outline and try that, that's fine too. So Leonard, you know how to right click and make a note. You can highlight Sparkle Kitty Glows.
Right here.
Just highlight Sparkle Kitty Glows to encourage interaction.
Okay. Yeah.
And then right click. Or do that, yeah. And now you can make a note there on how we do that. So we're talking about doing a glow outline. Or an outline.
Probably want to play with thickness too.
Yeah.
I liked the buttons again. I made sort of like pulse. The size outlines are scaled up and down. Might do that sort of with, if we do an outline of the cat, might sort of do that also.
Yeah, for the other things besides the cat.
I like just the movement sort of helps draw your attention more.
If it's just a stationary glow, it's probably not going to be as noticeable as something that's glowing brighter and then duller and then brighter and then duller.
The other thing I had was with the UI. So right now it just disables all the other buttons. Does that sound okay to other people?
The tutorial disables the other buttons? Yeah, I would disable all the other buttons until you're done with the tutorial.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good. I agree too.
We want them to have a linear experience through that, so we're gonna force the issue there, and then after they get done with it, they can do whatever they want.
Exactly.
I think it's fine. I just had concerns about messing with. I think the other thing I've seen a tutorial where like there's sort of the entire screen is sort of
grayed out,
except for the button or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was about like conveying that and messing with the normal sort of when buttons are active or not. But I guess people should know sort of that it's because of the tutorial, and if they come back to that screen later, those buttons are going to be active.
So we could do what you're talking about in addition to the glowing for the first tutorial, since it's sort of a walkthrough. But later on, if we have a tutorial where we're telling them how to do something new down the line, because we had talked about using not just the glowing buttons, not just here, but potentially later.
So maybe later, if we had anything again later, it'd be like glowing, but they'd still be able to freely do
They'd still be able to interact with other things, and it wouldn't stop glowing until they hit it.
Yeah.
But that otherwise they could interact with the environment any way they want. But if you want to tell them visually that, okay, we're locking everything except for the tutorial in this part, we can do the gray overlay like what you're talking about, and just highlight, like open up the areas that you're interacting with at that moment, so that it's really like kind of gets into the hand-holding thing, but
I agree that those sorts of tutorials, I think it's good to sort of force them.
I agree as well.
There's
the
also
graying out actually works.
Like the way I have it right now, the book won't even open until you get the letter.
That's good.
Yeah. It really feels like a walkthrough when you do the grayed out.
Yeah.
So they understand that it's temporary as well. That's just sort of a common language that games use.
They also can sometimes just try to focus and say they'll use text and say click on this button or whatnot. But since we're not using text
I've never actually seen that, but
oh well, I mean
Some
I
of
mean,
them
for
do,
like,
but they're usually
mean-
the lower budget ones that don't spend the time to try to
Yeah.
use the opportunity to add flair to your game. Like,
Yeah.
tutorials are actually a spot where you can kind of establish that work for your reward type situation. Like, oh, you did it. Now you
exactly.
can do
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
So, you can walk somebody through by saying, now push this button, now push this button. But it's not very rewarding. But if it, like
Yeah.
with us, suddenly the book opens. That's a reward. An animation is a reward for the player because it's something new and different, and
Right.
it rewards them for
The-
completing that task. And when
Right
you pet
now-
the cat, when it has an animation, that's the reward for interacting
Yeah.
with the cat.
So right now, I almost want the story to be a little bit slower, maybe than it is at the moment, with like you said, more feedback of like, yeah, you did something right.
Yeah, and
Um,
that's a possibility. This is kind of a minimal walkthrough or
Yeah.
a minimal tutorial.
There's a little bit of, I guess it's not too terribly fast at the moment because, I mean, like if you pet the cat, it does its whole pet animation before
Mhm.
moving on. But like when the mood goes up, there's no like pausing to like acknowledge that the mood went up.
So I
Like
talked
the-
about that a little bit in the in that section, not in the actual tutorial section, but the mood
Mhm.
meter we talked about in the definitions and how that interacts. If you scroll
Yeah.
up, I think
I mean, part of that's just in general.
that's just going to be
you talk
something
about-
that happens throughout the game.
Yeah, you talk about just generally when the mood goes up, maybe it has more feedback.
Yeah.
And that's just not in there yet.
I thought we might have just talked about it and I didn't type it in there, but
No, there's something in there about. Actually, no. There's nothing in there in the tutorial about it. But,
not in the tutorial, no, but in the definitions
It was in the definition of the mood
of
stuff.
the mood stuff. Yeah, I think we talked about it there.
Yeah.
So, a lot of them have question marks right now. It starts at
The-
neutral green, changes color, so you got things that change color, and we had talked about possibly having like when the mood increases, you have like a particle effect that happens just to sort of let you know, and maybe like a little bit of a sound.
Yeah.
Just
Let's
It
make.
sounds very lacking right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think
We
the
might have
buttons have
to.
clicks on them.
Yeah. That's probably
That
only
might be about
one
it right
thing.
now.
Okay, but we got some other ones that they've just added. They just gave to us recently or whatnot.
Mm.
But we might have to
Ball bounce and
get ball bounce. And a couple of others. I forgot what it was.
If you scroll down a little bit too, Leonard, there's more under interactions and reactions and things like that. Just how it
Place
might
out
happen,
message.
like colors change, something indicating frustration for negative, like a negative particle effect, and something for positive.
Cat's unhappy, hiding tower may leave when the app is closed.
And then if a cat's super happy, we had talked about possibly a unique animation to cat.
Yeah.
And maybe a reward for craft items when the player returns. I don't think
So
we're
is it-
doing the leveling up for cats or the player, right? They're just
Okay.
playing through.
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah. Like maybe later on if we continue with it.
Exactly. It sounded like we just decided possibly on a super unhappy, like possible particle system showing unhappiness.
Yeah, it's above.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. If you go scroll up, particles, effects, positive and negative.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Never mind.
So just one for each, right?
Yeah.
Just
Happen every time they go up.
go ahead.
Yes, and then you probably have something when they're at their ultimate unhappy or ultimate happy. Like
Larger particle systems.
yeah,
More particles.
like
Yeah.
when you reach that ultimate happy, you want something really rewarding, right? So maybe there's like a ta-da and like burst of stars or something.
Stars.
And when the cat is super unhappy, maybe it growls at you, runs into the tower, and then leaves after you close down. Except for Sparkle Kitty, they can never leave. But
Dragon Kitty tries to kill all the other cats.
No. Okay, fine then.
I think it would be cool to have cats interacting at some point, but
yeah,
that might be.
Yeah,
that might be down the road.
That'll be down the road.
A cat fighting game. Hey, wait, we did that.
Yes, we did that. Well, you did it, Shiloh. You did that. Oh my god. I still have a copy of it on my computer.
It'd be fun just to do little things like a cat is eating and then another cat comes over and tries to eat and then the first cat like bats at it or something.
That just sounds like Opie and Amelia right there.
They both lay down and paw at each other, sort of like the new meme, where everyone's putting the little cat with the tiny nub paws playing the piano.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. We can do a lot of stuff. All right, let's get back focused. Let's see. Alrighty, so I think we've come up with a decision on exactly how to show interaction and also how to show the feelings of cats based upon use of particle systems. So that sounds pretty solid for right now. So let's go back and see exactly and that's what I wanted to do in design. And so Shay beat me to it in talking about it, was that I wanted to talk about things that were necessary in order to needed for the what design department needs to give to art and technical in order to actually continue on with the project. I don't think that I don't believe there's a few other things. So we just talked about a couple of things. So that's great.
We sort of talked about it before, but a book would be good.
Like a 3D
For what?
book.
A 3D book.
Instead of
yeah.
Instead of the cube.
Crap.
I
know
have
Jared.
one, but I don't.
It's not in blocks. It wasn't made in blocks on that fun stuff.
No, it was made in 3D Studio Max.
Yeah. I just took down the vibe, so I can't do anything myself personally.
Like, I think the one that Jared made before is close. If you could just sort of flatten out some.
Oh yeah. So that was something. Yeah.
And then we need a handle type thing.
Oh yeah.
On it.
Can we make the handle like super magical looking, like super mysterious and mystical or something? I don't know. I wouldn't like the handle is like it makes you like want to say this is something that's really like powerful and it has this book is magical or something like that, or it like looks old, or it's like pieced together in some way. That's what a handle I kind of want, possibly. Those are suggestions, by the way. You don't have to go with that.
But if it's a cat tail and you have like ears above the book, like it's a cat book.
Overkill.
But it's like a little hook for a tail.
Yeah.
God, you guys not that into cats, are you?
Fantasy.
Well, we are the cat, Shiloh, but that was maybe just a little like the tail and everything. I'm kind of cool. I kind of like that too. The cat tail, a furry cat tail might not be a bad idea.
I'll let you and Zach talk about it. I was being cutesy.
You're fine.
I want to try a few different things.
Yeah, try a few different things.
Maybe like an intricate gold.
Ooh.
Intricate design, golden. Or maybe like
gold cattail.
An energy, like made of energy.
Something, yeah. You let your mind wander with that one, okay? But then you tell Jared exactly what it's going to look like, and then he'll model it for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shiloh. I don't know if the ears would work out really well. That's that's the only thing. The tail idea is pretty good, but the ears is what I worry about. I don't know. That's fine.
Also, also with the book, making it so it can somehow close would be good.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, it has to be able to open and close.
Yeah.
It can be rigged and whatnot. It should be pretty all right.
Like just the one that he made before looks like
It won't
It's
open and
too
close.
wouldn't really
thin.
work very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
And you'll be
Cool.
adding all the UI and stuff onto it.
All right. Yes. That's what's necessary as well. Alrighty. So so we just talked about finish tutorial and bug fixes. That ball shade that falls. Hopefully, I'm glad you're gonna get that fixed because that was just really
fix the
sad.
ball. That
Fix
should
the
be
ball.
This week's build should have the fix the ball and fix laser pointer and
Yeah.
um yeah.
Oh, and you already got petting in there, so we can actually pet now.
There's something in there for it.
Okay. Cool.
You click on the cat and does a little animation of it's doing its head. I don't know.
Okay. Cool.
It doesn't. I don't know. We might have to work on actually making that feel like petting. I'm not sure exactly.
Oh, definitely. We'll have to like cat sort of. Well, that'll be. We have that as an animation, right? As one of the things.
It'd be cool to like if
so difficult.
I don't know.
It's
I'd want like
so.
It'd be nice if like you sort of like you can sort of continue to like touch the cat and then it continues to like react. Right now it's like a click. You click on the cat and it does a little animation. It doesn't really like feel like paying a cat. But that was easy to do, so I did that pretty quick this week. So,
Yeah.
But I think eventually we should work on making that feel nicer.
Yeah. So maybe you would click and hold on the cat, maybe on like its back or its head, and it would do like sort of a head tilt type thing with its eyes closed, maybe ears sort of go back. Something like that.
I've got a really cuddly cat that my neighbor keeps letting out of their house that like rubs against you and stuff when you pet her. We should totally get some video of that as reference.
There you go.
She's a super duper cuddly cat.
I'm trying to find something right now. What's her name? I never met her before, I guess.
I call her Miss Kitty, but I think her name is Baby.
Sure. Baby.
Baby?
Yeah, Baby.
I'm trying to find. So, another Pokemon reference. In Pokemon Sun and Moon, I think it was, you were able to like feed, like you're able to boost up the stats of the Pokemon and also feed them by like petting them, stuff like that. And what happened is that like if you pet their belly, like there's certain parts of their body that you can pet and everything. So you pet the head, they react, and you can actually see like them actually being affected by the motions of you moving around, actually petting their head, and also like they pet their belly, or not paint the belly, pet the belly or paint other parts of the body. They react in certain sort of ways, and so what would happen is that this is like I said, this is something that's kind of feature creep. What would happen is that you create different types of small animation, very simple, that are based upon where you're actually interacting with the cat. Like if you interact with the leg, it'll pick up its right. Like you interact with its right front leg, right front leg will go up a little bit if you start petting it or something like that.
So
you know
that
what
might
I'm saying?
be a little scope creepy right now.
That's a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying or whatnot. Yeah, okay. I'm just telling you
I
as
think
an example.
like what Shay's probably got in there isn't a bad way to handle it for right now.
No.
The big thing would be like I would like you continue touching the cat and it continues to loop an animation. Is the big thing I think would be good.
Yeah.
Opposed to like I said, you tap and it plays a 2-second animation.
Yeah.
Yep. Have a looping tail animation and head and ear animation. And that could be something to reach for.
And that's fairly small and simple. So just something that can loop. And then for now, that'll do. But if we continue working on this in the future, we can scope out to make the interaction with the cat way more fun and rewarding.
And yeah, and my more thing was just how you, not so much the having to write of animations and stuff, is just how you interact with it. Maybe also like sort of swiping back and forth a little bit, actually like petting motion or something. Make it sort of feel like you're actually petting a cat.
Cool. That'd be enough then, I believe. I'm okay. Alrighty. Fully coolly. Alrighty, so it seems like Art, what you got going on?
So I have on here for David to continue animating the sit, and if any other animations he wants to start on, we can. For the little things for Jared to do the little changes he needs to make, as well as start. Yeah, he said he's gonna try to find some time to start Night Kid. Then I'm gonna start doing the s'mores concept art for the Dragon Kitty treat, as well as I didn't get to do the concept showing variations on particle effect in the scene, so I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
And I have on here just to continue creating any UI elements.
Very true. Very true. Yeah, because the fact is that things might change. Well, actually, I think we created as Shiloh mentioned, create a language and trying to create a way to actually show which pieces are interactive and all that fun stuff, and shapes and sizes and everything. So I think I feel like we're pretty much solid and golden on that, based upon our conversations. So I don't see any really big changes coming about unless they're absolutely necessary in order to actually make it make sense and work and get it complete. So because we need to start just not like thinking about it, but saying, okay, solid, this is what we're doing, and then continuing on with it. And I think that's what's going to help us continue on and try to get to our deadline, which we want it to be. So, alrighty. Very cool, very cool. Alrighty. I will say this something real quickly or whatnot. Everybody just continue to this week on Friday, people at Telltale Games all lost their jobs. Not everybody, but like 250 of them lost their jobs. It was really sad. So let's keep those folks in mind, and hopefully they'll be able to find jobs in the future. And then let's see as well. We'll be kind of busy this week. I don't think I'll be at Run Jump Dev because I'm probably gonna be packing constantly and whatnot. So it's entirely up to you if you want to go or not. It's up to y'all. But me personally, I won't be there just because I gotta move my life, get ready to move Wednesday night. All right. Is there anything else that we need to discuss or talk about before the end of for the ending this today?
I just wanted to say congratulations to Lexington for being listed 6th.
Yes.
In the nation for places to work in games, beating San Francisco. Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
I was surprised.
There's not actually much of anyone actually professionally doing games. So.
Yeah, that was on LinkedIn the other day. Oh, it's right there at the top.
How did that happen?
Yeah, look at that.
Lexington named 6 best.
And that's the Lane Report. Lane Report is actually a fairly reputable organization.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea. I remember we talked about it. I was like, I don't know if it's actually good or solid or whatever. I don't know who they are. But if they I mean, I don't know. I never heard of it before. But if that means something though, right there, this means that we're doing something. That's amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
if you read the article, a lot of it takes into consideration the fact that it's a low cost of living, low crime rate.
Yeah.
We are centrally located to a lot of different places, so
Yeah.
we have the ability to get places pretty quickly from here. So if you need to
Yeah.
get out to Boston, you can get there fairly quickly. California's a little bit of a reach, but there's, East Coast stuff is pretty accessible.
Yeah.
Chicago's pretty accessible. Atlanta's pretty accessible. So we're in a pretty good spot. But I think they also had Peretti Games as one of the 8 game companies, and as we know, that's not doing a whole lot right now. So
Well, we got this humongous thing going on anyway,
Yeah.
so it'll be under that soon because
yeah.
we still got it. So, Shiloh, about that, that's all set up and everything, right? All the Play Store stuff and everything's been set up correctly, so that once we get to the point where we can actually like put out betas, because we're past the alpha stage, but we put out betas for people to try out. We're not past the alpha stage?
Supposed to be like feature complete for a beta.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Leonard is really like, we're almost done with this game.
I
will tell you that we will probably be reaching beta by the time we finish this year. So don't be in too big of a hurry, because we're basically creating a playable demo.
Yeah,
And
which is fine.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't know. Where is it? I don't know if like the stuff like the images and stuff. Yeah, we want to update that if we actually release it to more people.
Yeah.
Right now
we'll work on updating it.
The 2 screenshots in there right now is the map and
oh god
and the little area for crafting things.
Okay.
Things that aren't in the game anymore.
Yeah. Let's not be No Man's Sky and take all that stuff out.
Even if it was in the game, I don't know if the crafting station is the best thing to represent the game.
No, it doesn't. Not at all.
When we had the map would have been a good one, but
right.
We need like screenshots of like the play area.
Yeah.
And interacting with the cats and stuff.
Yeah. And I don't know. We're still sticking with the same logo?
That's still up in the air.
We probably should talk about the name. Do you guys want to set a date for talking about the name and the logo? What's our next?
How about?
When's our next milestone meeting? That's
the date. Well, I think the milestone meeting is the fourth Sunday, right? So it would be this. The day would be the milestone meeting, because I won't be around. By the way, Shiloh, next Sunday I won't be. I'll be in Ohio, so.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta take the lead on that. Because I'll be trying to Kentucky. Not Kentucky. Where am I going? GDEX. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I got GDEX going on. So I'll let you take the lead on this. But we need to talk about it maybe sometime in October. How about set a date for October 14th meeting to actually discuss the name, and before the end of October, decide final name. How about that?
So October 14th, we're going to talk about it?
Yeah, October 14th. So October 14th, start conversation on name, final name to be chosen.
No, don't put that in there. Don't put that in there, because we can probably get it done that day if we put our minds to it. Like, start thinking about names now, and just make notes. And
we'll do.
That way we can just get this done.
Yes, and then Zach can make it, and we can just say that's what it is.
Because we need to start getting that stuff done.
Yeah. It could fit more of a fantastical setting too, so that's something to keep in mind.
If
fantasy.
If you come up with a name that you really like, in the next couple of weeks beforehand.
Yeah.
Research it before proposing it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please
About
research.
Final Fantasy.
No. No.
I want to call it.
That'd be weird.
I may need to look it up first.
And it
Make
can
sure.
be I mean, you can make up a word, that's fine. It doesn't have to be, real words.
Yeah. The document to do that, by the way, is around town somewhere. Golly,
The what?
is it here? The name is the name that the stuff. Oh, by the way, next
Yeah,
Sunday.
don't even worry about that thing that we did because that was
Oh,
fine.
really?
That was a good exercise, but I don't think
Okay.
I think just think about it and, come up with one or two that you really like.
Okay.
I like your idea of coming up with words that aren't real words. Like, I like. Have you played Botanicula or
Oh, yeah.
Machinarium?
Mechanarium, yeah.
Machinarium? Those are made up words.
Yeah, those are totally made up words. And that is oftentimes a good way to do it because then you're not like necessarily competing with everybody. Somebody who's using real words for their Sparkle Kitty game. So, anyway,
All right.
talk about it on the 14th. So if you
I
get
want to
time
share
to
this.
think, huh?
I want to share something real quick. I
Oh.
just found.
Okay. Are you gonna share your screen?
I was just gonna post it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
If I can find.
Something I was going to mention. Oh, next Sunday they announce. Oh wow. Oh wow.
Kitties.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's adorable.
That's great. I love it. Oh wow. They come out have keyblades. Ah. That's great. I love
That's cute.
them. Because they're based upon the characters from Disney too.
They're Kingdom Hearts. So.
Right? Yeah. It's just I gotta figure. It's hard to figure them out a little bit, I guess.
I was looking for Final Fantasy, and that one was better than the Final Fantasy one.
Yeah.
I like
Oh
I like how these evil cats have the like squinty eyes and the
Yeah, like the fox eyes or whatnot.
Leather
Yeah.
jacket.
Yeah. Oh, they all have leather jack. Yeah. All right.
Cute.
That's cute. That is very cute. Next Sunday, the 30th, they announced the winners of the Sweden VR thing. I've just looked at the email, checked to see if we got anything. We haven't got anything. So I don't know what's going to happen, but keep an eye out for that, Charlotte. Keep an ear out or whatever.
I've been checking my email, but I haven't gotten anything from them. So.
Yeah, I checked as well. So yeah, but maybe I don't know. I'm kind of curious. I really want to know because I feel like we gave them something that was probably a little bit more finished than probably a lot of people did. So maybe that was something. Also, yeah. So we got cats, a map, and a little bit more finished quality than a lot of people I guess did maybe. So we'll see what happens. Alrighty, very cool. October 14th, we're going to decide name. Yay! I'll make an announcement actually. Okay, very nice.
Okay, so
thank
when
you
you
everybody.
say announcement, what are you talking about?
Oh, I was like Twitter.
Let's just keep it in here.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. Let's just decide it amongst ourselves instead of trying to because I will tell you what will happen. People will make all sorts of ridiculous suggestions and they'll actually expect us to entertain them and it's not going to be fun. It's just going to confuse the situation. So
understood.
Let's just
my
keep
thought.
it in here and try to figure it out. And I think the fact that there's a fairly small team is going to make it a little bit easier for us to have a conversation about it.
Right.
Because I think that's what happened before. We tried to like open it up to everybody, and it was like a mess. And we tried to make it too like, here's all of your options. And so what we got back was a lot of options, and
pretty much the exact same thing that we had before too.
Yeah. So it didn't really change anything.
Popular, right?
Yeah.
Sparkle Kitty was the most popular one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Just totally amazing.
So it was a good
all right.
it was a good exercise to learn that about it. Like, okay,
Yeah.
that's great. It sounds really cool to try that, but I think we just ran into, you give too many people too many options, then they're gonna come back and give you more options than you probably.
Exactly.
So
polls work well if like you have like 3 options and you say which one's.
Yeah, if you have 3 things, pick one. What is the number one out of that? And that's probably what we can do later. We can have our top 3 ideas and post it out there, and that makes them feel involved, but we've already decided, like, okay, we're okay with these 3 names. We're not completely making it up because this person liked Twinkle more than he liked Sparkle. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I think it makes more sense for us as a group to decide what we like, and if we want to open it up, then come up with 1 or 2 ideas, maybe 3, for people.
Do like a Twitter poll, maybe a Facebook poll too.
I would say, well, no, internal, and like in the future, like just continue to keep it internal, and then decide, and then announce like, hey, this is a new title of the HVRE game for this year, and this has been decided upon, and this was going to be, and everything, and all that fun stuff, and I'll just make the announcements, all that, everything, so it should be golden. All right, so cool. Thank you, Shiloh, for that thought. Thank you, Shay, for what you're doing. Thank you, Zach, for your team and everything you're doing as well. Let's continue on and work and figure this stuff out and make it work. And today is kind of rainy, so I hope everybody's staying dry. All righty, I will. If there's nothing else to talk about, I will see y'all later. You have a good week. Keep Shay and I in your thoughts because we're going to be moving our lives. So, all right.
Guys. Bye, everybody.
All right, everybody have a good day. I'll see you.
All right, bye.
All right, bye-bye.